another episode of The Brew, where it is our mission to tease out the stories that build better living. And in this season, we're actually bringing the brew back to its roots. And the roots are you. We're going to tell stories that highlight and edify the team members out in the field that make the Radco Nation what it is. So thank you, first and foremost, as we start this episode off. I want to make sure that we're giving shout outs as you watch this episode on our social channels. And those social channels are on Instagram, we're at Radco Residential. On Facebook, it's also Radco Residential. On Twitter, it's at Radco Companies. And on LinkedIn, it's Radco / Residential. All right, now we're going to continue on with the news segment, which will be hosted by Bob Keator in Corporate Services, and that is the hashtag in service of. Bob, take it away.
Mike, thanks so much. It is truly an honor to host the hashtag in service of. So just as a reminder, I mean, everybody has heard this, but we can't say this enough. You know, our big, hairy, audacious goal, our BHAG, is we are transforming Radco Residential into a human-centric leader in service of our team members, our customers, our residents and our prospects, and our business partners and investors, in that order. So, I mean, we believe, you know, if we take care of ourselves, we work together with ourselves and be in service of each other on our team, especially our team members first. The work that we have to do in serving our customers, as well as our investors and our returns, will fall into place. So, and that's the whole reason for this this production we're doing, The Brew, is to be in service of you, our team members. So I'm honored to really highlight three specific groups or three specific hashtag in service ofs today. The first one is really, really timely. It's the COVID-19 relief team. I call this one taking caring to the max, right? So this team, this 10-person team, has been tasked recently and very quickly. And guys, this is above and beyond. What you're doing has been above and beyond your regular day job, so to speak. And it's really a balancing act of your full-time responsibilities together with a really, really important part of what our culture is about. And you're just doing an incredible job. You're supporting all of us as you are supporting and caring for the residents who are struggling the most. So, and the way that's being done by this team is through responding to emails. And I mean, these stats will say something. There have been 402 inquiries. 270 of those inquiries have been completed by this team. Now, one thing that's really, really important, and I just want to highlight this about this team, is 402 inquiries doesn't mean 402 once and done, right? It could be many, many emails back and forth. It could be phone calls back and forth. So this number of 270 completed could be 5, 6, 7 times that. So kudos and hats off to the COVID-19 relief team. And I just want to read their names off now. Lawanda Gamon, Josiah Smith, Allison Richards, Hector Mora, Cassandra Carter, Adina Sanchez, Lolita James, Matthew Bush, Naja May Ridley, and Jillian Trask. Thank you so much. That's our first hashtag in service of call out today. And the next one is really, really cool. I just love this. This is to a team of 3. And this team has worked tirelessly over the last 5-6 weeks, especially during COVID-19. And this team has spent time very carefully assessing needs, gathering facts, and doing that in order to connect the appropriate resources very, very efficiently to those who need it the most amongst all of us. So they have been hashtag in service of every single one of us since the very beginning. And this hashtag in service of shout out goes to the learning and development team. So Jessica Gordon, Katie Gear, Tiara Robinson, thank you for being the glue that's held so much together for all of us during the COVID-19 pandemic. And I just want to read to you just one piece of feedback that came back with regard to this team. It says, "I'm amazed to see the level of detail, collaboration, and teamwork the L&D team, learning and development team, has been involved in over the past 5 weeks. It's absolutely amazing, the collaboration." So hats off to Katie, Jessica, and Tiara. You're just doing an incredible job. And the one thing I wanted to specifically talk about during, to kind of segue into the next one, is two of the specific tools the L&D team have been using is Zoom and also Panopto. I think Panopto, we've had it for the last year or so, but it's really reaching, a maximum usage now with all the videos that are being produced, the videos that are being used internally and externally with our prospects. So those two tools have been incredible. They've hosted Zoom open forums, Zoom one-on-ones with each team member that needs it. And also they've then posted that to Panopto so that learning can go virally. So if you have not gone on to Panopto, check out Panopto to see how you can just kind of get in virally on all the learning that's being produced out there for all of us at Radco. So anyway, so I'll transition on that note, Zoom open forums. So, and why this is important when I go through this one. This shout out goes to a special guy who really, really went above and beyond, and he was instrumental in a major part of this era we're in right now in serving our prospects and our residents, especially our prospects, remotely. And this is just not a flash in the pan. This has been instrumental during this time, but this person has been instrumental, it kind of like ground zero for the explosion that's going to happen even after we get out of COVID-19 as we go virtual. So before COVID-19, this person had created an incredible virtual tour. He was posting it to Yammer. It was getting likes and shares, and it was in total demand before these virtual tours were really becoming a thing. And so L&D was so impressed, right? They're like, okay, who was behind the composition? It was fantastic. The quality was incredible. It was spot on. It could have been a Madison Avenue production, so to speak. So anyway, they also found the whole team at his property was involved in it, but he was really the chief editor and the chief producer. And so when the pandemic hit 5-6 weeks ago, L&D was scrambling around to try to go, okay, we got to get learning to people on how to execute on virtual tours, production, and allow that to go virally and become an instrumental tool in leasing. So a light bulb went off. Jessica, Tiara, and Katie said, gosh, why don't we just get this person, they have the best work, and we'll co-host a Zoom open forum. Well, this person came prepared, shared his knowledge with his team. 50 people plus joined in on that Zoom open forum, and it is available today on Panopto to look at. It still remains one of the best videos on Panopto, and it's getting more and more views every single week. So if you have not seen his video on Panopto, I suggest taking a look at it. But anyway, and since the live Zoom learning forum that he co-hosted, team members all across Radco have used iMovie to create some awesome video tours of their properties, and also the techniques that he shared. So without further ado, Mike, have I kept you in suspense long enough?
I am totally in suspense. The buildup was like excruciating in a good way, but yes, I'm ready to hear the name.
I'm trying to do this like what is that? The Oscars or whatever. So
it's fantastic. You're doing a wonderful job.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, so without further ado, Gerardo Arana, you have been hashtag in service of all of us, especially the properties who are scrambling around to determine how to do virtual tours, get them out there, produce results, and you shared all that with every one of us and your team members. That's incredible. So just want to, as I wrap up, I just want to read what the L&D team sent to me regarding your service, hashtag in service of. They said, Gerardo, you deserve major kudos for your service as a teacher and a leader within the Radco community. So thanks so much for that. And as I wrap this segment up, I just want to ask you guys, is there a Radco team member that you believe has been hashtag in service of? And see, I keep doing that, Mike, just because you did that.
I love that. I love that. I think I stole that from Laura. So I stole that from somebody.
Anyway, it's awesome. And so do you guys, team members out there, do you guys know anybody, and I know you do, that is hashtag in service of a team member, a customer, a business partner? We want to know, we want to share that with the world here on the Brew. So nominate using the survey link that's in the description in this video, and include a little bit of detail on why you believe this person deserves the recognition, and a team member, somebody will follow up with you, and we will get it on the next episode of the Brew. So, hey, as I conclude, Mike, I would just say, hey, let's all celebrate each other's achievements. That's what hashtag in service of is part of.
Absolutely. And I think you called out 3 really good examples of that today. And I just, the COVID relief team, the L&D team, and what Gerardo did was just tremendous in the midst of a crisis, and the composure that they all held in pushing out that content and pushing out the sort of revised way that we're doing business and keeping business continuity. It was just a tremendous effort, and I applaud all their effort. It's awesome.
And Mike, I mean, I think you would agree. I mean, as I was reviewing this, I'm like, I can only do 3. Like, yeah,
that's right. You probably have. There's so many to choose from.
The level is easier for you to say. The level of hashtag in service of has exploded during this pandemic, and it just absolutely shows what a team who is caring and building better living can and will do, especially during a crisis. You know, so it's anyway, like I said, it's a special segment, and I was honored to share that, and I look forward to sharing it again.
That's right. And thank you, Bob. You did a tremendous job highlighting those folks. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Mike.
All right, so let's continue on with some recognition and highlighting the team members out there in the Radco Nation. And first, we're going to talk about people who have actually crossed the 5-year threshold, meaning you've worked here for 5 years in the Radco Nation. It's your anniversary. And something pretty special about that, this is also the 5-year anniversary of Radco Residential being in business. So these folks have actually been around since day one. Sorry, hit the computer. I like to shake things up a little bit. All right, so in no particular order, I'm going to start out by recognizing Alberto Blanco, Javier Berber, Gary Lickimby, Joshua Verhoff, Gregory Bolden, Matthew Shahir, Froylan Gonzalez, Sade Hooks, Levy St. Cloud, Wilbur Perez, and Laura Truid. All of you have enjoyed 5 years in the Radco Nation, all the time that the Radco Residential Company has actually been in business. I really want to congratulate each and every one of you, and I look forward to the next 5 years and 5 years after that and 5 years after that. So appreciate each and every one of you and all the contributions you've made to the company. Also wanted to continue on with some recognition in the area of Kingsley, the Kingsley score. So the surveys that we send out to our residents who live in the communities, prospects who visit the community. Every time we do a service request, we put out a survey. And what we're recognizing today, however, is our overall satisfaction score. And we're going to recognize, I think, 8 or 9 properties, maybe 10 here. There's a long list. I'm just going to read them off in no particular order, but these are the properties that have scored very high in overall satisfaction ratings as measured by Kingsley. So Ashford at Feathersound, Ashford on the Lake, Ashford Ridenhour, City Park Clearwater, Crossing at McDonough, Lakeside at Winter Park, Magnolia Terrace, Radius West Midtown, The Landing at Ackworth, and Willows at North End. Congratulate each and every one of you. That particular question on the Kingsley survey is the actual most important question that we measure by. So the fact that you've knocked it out of the park on that measure is a huge kudo to you. So appreciate you. Thank you for all the efforts and continue to do so. All right, and moving on to the next segment of the Brew, we have Jessica, the wonderful Jessica Gordon, Flash Gordon. I'm sure somebody's called you Flash Gordon, so I'm going to do it.
They have.
We're going to kick off the Secret Shopper Report, and Jessica's going to take that segment and run with it.
All right. Well, I am absolutely thrilled to celebrate the 3 individuals who earned 100% on their secret shops since our last full brew. So in March, we had Ashley Hauser over at The Landing at Ackworth. Yay, Ashley, who's also one of our lead 3 students. So way to go, Ashley. We're so happy that you earned your 100% on your shop. Way to go. Next, we have Adam West at Radius West Midtown, who certainly deserves kudos. I know he always does everything he possibly can to go above and beyond and deliver that amazing customer service for all of his residents. So thank you, Adam. Adam's actually an assistant property manager over at Radius West Midtown. And then lastly, but certainly not least, our most recent 100% was very exciting. Juan Alvarez over at Ashford 6860 earned 100% on our first virtual shop. So amazing work, Juan. We're really cheering you from every corner of the Radco Nation. It's amazing. You're the only one who's earned 100% on your virtual shop thus far. So here's the challenge to all you Radco leasing agents out there to follow suit. And Juan, I'm going to personally challenge you to join our next Secret Shop Forum. We'd like to have you as a co-host to help other Radco team members learn from you. What did you do really well on that shop that got you to earn at 100%? Maybe you can share some tips with us. So the invite is out there. We hope to see you on the next forum.
That is so awesome. And you know, Jessica, if I could just take a quick second here and I said this in a video a couple of days ago because somebody had raised some concerns that we were doing secret shops in the middle of a crisis and in the middle of trying to learn a new technology. And I just want to stress to everybody out there in the Radco Nation that we are trying to get feedback. Feedback is our friend, as Jessica Gordon would say. We're trying to get feedback to make sure that the technology is working correctly and that we are able to support each and every one of you in the sales forum or format in the new way that we're doing leasing. And the only way we know how to do that in an unbiased way is to do secret shops. Nobody is going to be counted against or counseled because they get a bad shop score. It's just going to give us data to correct the technology or correct the learning and development element of this. So I just wanted to say that really quickly so that no one has any stress about it.
Absolutely. And honestly, secret shops, or not secret shops, virtual leasing is here to stay. We know this, every company is talking about how they've seen great results from virtual leasing. It's convenient for the consumer. It's easier for us because, we're not having to juggle, multiple prospects on the property. So of course, we're going to probably work on efficiencies and streamlining this process. But at the moment, it's been really exciting to see our leasing team members jump right in, try something new. And across the board, we've seen a lot of success. So although Juan's been our only 100 so far, we know more are coming, but scores across the board have been pretty high. And it's wonderful to see that the leasing teams recognize all the same skills that they've applied to their in-person touring is applied in the virtual experience as well. it's a little more challenging because actually your time constraint is much shorter. So our leasing teams are selling within a 30-minute time period. That's how long their appointment is. And then they have to jump on to the next one. So they're doing an amazing job. We're just here to support them even more. And so anyone who wants to practice, you know well that you can sign up for one-on-one training with my team. Tiara Robinson is the one you're probably going to be working with on secret shop, on leasing skills. And we'll role play with you, we'll practice, we'll help you work out any technical issues that you have. But yeah, I mean, you guys are doing a great job. So we're celebrating you every day.
Absolutely. It's been tremendous from my perspective to watch the way that this has evolved. In a few short weeks, we worked with our technology partner, our L&D led by you, and the team members out there in the field putting together some pretty unique and wonderful experiences in terms of virtual videos and things of that nature. But it's just been, from my perspective, just an incredible effort on the part of many to bring this to life. And
Absolutely.
It's yielding good numbers.
Yes, and I will say we've seen amazing results from our leasing boot camp. So everyone across the company has been participating in a boot camp since March. So when we launched it, we planned for the boot camp to last from March through April. Then when COVID happened at the end of March, we transitioned, and actually Tiara was amazing to edit a lot of the content that we sent out after our offices closed, so that they were really focused on how to lease virtually. So kudos to Tiara for doing that, and kudos to the team because everyone's still been engaged in the program. We see posts every week on Tuesdays and Thursdays with everyone's responses to the challenging questions that we've been posing to the teams to get you thinking about your different techniques, and from closing techniques to greeting, the importance of Kingsley scores. So it's been really amazing. And big shout out to Levi Cortez's regional team. That includes Ashford Palmetto, Ashford Riverview, Lakeside at Winter Park, Radius West Ashley, and Radius at Winter Park. You guys have been the team to post every Tuesday, every Wednesday, without fail. Your posts are on Yammer, so we've learned a lot from you, and your content's amazing. There have, of course, been many other teams to participate, so thank you for everyone. And hopefully, having you think through your answers has really allowed you to focus on your techniques and hone those skills, and that's allowed you to improve. We've also seen the evidence of improving through our Kingsley scores. So one of the metrics is from the boot camp is the prospect's overall satisfaction score. And we've seen those scores steadily rising since the boot camp took off. So again, it's just another way that we know it's working. You guys are working really hard. You're focused. You're doing a great job. The prospects appreciate you, and their feedback shows that also. So bravo.
Well, Jessica, I really want to thank you and your team for the efforts that you've put forth in this constraint called COVID, and really retooling how we sell apartments on a daily basis. I really want to thank you guys. All the shout outs that you gave to the team members out in the field, really want to thank them on behalf of your team and myself, and appreciate you coming on to do this segment of the Brew.
Our pleasure. And Katie and Tiara, I know, are saying thank you, and I know that they're invested in everyone's success. So thanks, everybody.
Okay. And as we wind down the show, we'd like to, as we do with every show, we're going to highlight some of the Yammer posts that have been up over the last, I'd say this is over the last 6 weeks, plus or minus, because I think some of them are actually in February, and we're now in April. So I wanted to start by highlighting some of the virtual tours. There's some photos that are posted out there on Yammer with virtual tours. Again, I would just say that the time it took for us to adapt to a new way of doing business was just astonishing and wonderful. And I just want to make sure that everybody knows that we see you and appreciate you for the effort you put into making that happen. And it's really interesting to see that our numbers for this spring leasing season are actually trending back to a normalized level, which is just amazing to me, given the fact that our offices are not open and we're doing this all virtual. So appreciate that. Also, this is a huge one. This next one, City Summit down in San Antonio, Texas, actually crossed the 90% mark in terms of occupancy, and I cannot tell you how awesome that is. And I can't thank Ashley Jones and LaWanda Gammon both equally, and everyone there on the site that put this effort forward, because it's been in the 80s for, let's say, the better part of a year. And the fact that it's crossed into the 90 percentile in terms of occupancy is just a huge undertaking. And I just appreciate everybody's efforts in getting it there. And I look forward to it heading to 92. After the war room call we had today, I think it's actually headed toward 92%. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Next, I want to congratulate Amber Riding on your promotion to maintenance turn technician at Ashford Meridian Hills up there in Indianapolis. Really am excited for you, and I look forward to hearing stories about your successes in your new role. Also want to give a shout out. Actually, I should probably whisper because they might be asleep right now. Grayson Brown and Taylor Evans, two new Radco babies that were born recently. Grayson Brown, the son of Dominique Harvey, and then Taylor Evans, the new addition to the Laura Evans family. Congratulations on your newborns, and we look forward to them growing up and growing right into a role in the property management world here at Radco. Also wanted to highlight Laura Truitt's teams. This is hilarious. You've probably seen these Yammer post these pictures, but when Laura puts together a Zoom call, when she wants to have some fun with it, she does so, and she does so by these big extravagant hats that everybody wears to the meeting. I think there was a hat and also some hair, like manufactured hair or wigs that they put on one day, but to bring a little bit of fun and humor to the Zoom meetings, which are otherwise maybe a little mundane at some points. So hats off to her. Haha, see what I did there? Hats off. Okay, that's my terrible attempt at humor. Wanted also, so Norman, the baby boomer that he is, actually successfully completed a virtual tour. He was really excited about going through the experience of a virtual tour and did so flawlessly or seamlessly or whatever buzzword you want to use. And I think that he really enjoyed it and was actually taken aback by the fact that we could lease apartments in a virtual space. So hats off to Norman, but also hats off to Radius Winter Park. Lynette there, she was actually the leasing consultant that took Norman through his tour, through his virtual tour. You did a wonderful job, and I think Norman was very impressed by that. So thank you very much. Also wanted to give a shout out to 45 move-ins. 45 move-ins, that's astonishing. That's a huge number. Creekside Meridian Hills up in Indianapolis in the course of a month the month of March had 45 move-ins. That is a tremendous effort, not only in actually moving people in, but doing all the paperwork that is associated with 45 move-ins. So awesome work. And I think that property is getting very close to the 90 percentile mark in terms of occupancy. So what an effort. Really appreciate what you brought together there. Also wanted to highlight the maintenance teams at Winter Park in Florida and Charleston, South Carolina. They are absolutely killing it. I think Levi called them out on Yammer, highlighted the efforts that they are putting forth as a team, both in Charleston and in Winter Park, Florida. So Levi, thank you for shouting out on Yammer, but more importantly, thank you for the teams in Winter Park and Charleston for killing it, as Matthew would say. Also want to highlight Daniel at Indian Trail. This is kind of cool. So Daniel secures 20 leases in the month of February, which is a huge number of leases. Huge number of leases. But then Stephanie comes along, Stephanie at 2,800, and says, Daniel, you know what? I see you're 20, and I'm going to lease 33. So now I see a little competition going on. So Daniel, I really want to applaud you for your efforts. Stephanie, I want to double applaud you for your efforts. And the rest of the Radco Nation, I want to challenge you to beat the 33. See Stephanie's 33 and go for 34 or 35. But both of you, I want to tell you, those are phenomenal numbers and really appreciate that. And keep it going. Also want to call out Ashford Bridenauer. So this, I wanted, Matthew thought it was very important, and I totally agree with him that I should highlight that this happened before we had to shut down the offices. And that was that Ashford Bridenauer actually did a Mardi Gras celebration. And one of the interesting things that they highlighted on Yammer was the shoe boxes that they put together as floats, sort of mimicking real life sized floats. They put together shoe boxes and actually had a parade which was pretty cool. So appreciate the creativity there in the Radco Nation and specifically at Ashford Ridenauer. And also wanted to highlight the Florida maintenance teams for actually showing up to Maintenance Mania and representing the Radco Nation. Again, I want to put the little asterisk there. We did this pre-COVID, so it wasn't shut down yet. But appreciate Lindsay for calling out the teams there. Appreciate the teams for showing up and representing the Radco Nation. Really appreciate each and every one of you for doing so. All right, and before we close out this Yammer section, I want to remind everybody, if it didn't happen on Yammer, it didn't happen at all. So make sure you're putting your pictures and your videos and your posts out there on a daily basis, because we do look at them. We do read every single one of them. We like every single one of them. We try to like every single one of them. There's such a volume sometimes I can't get them all liked, but that is where we draw the material for the brew that we highlight each time we have an episode. So please put it out there. Otherwise, it did not happen. Okay. I wanted to, as we close out this episode of the brew, I think this is our third episode of 2020. And we are doing this in quarantine, and I am switching gears and getting a little more serious in nature because it is a stressful time for all of us. And I'd be lying if I said that, hey, I've sat through this entire experience in a stoic way and not thought the worst thoughts that you could possibly think in terms of what could happen to me or my family or to you and your families. And it's just hard not to think in that respect and to be fearful about what's going on today. But in a lot of reflection, a lot of time in reflection, I've brought to mind this from ancient literature. This is where it comes from. The mystery of the descending way. And that's, let's call it a philosophical way of suggesting that there is healing in suffering. There really are tears of joy on the heels of tears of sorrow, right? And it really is this sort of feel to heal. And I believe in my heart of hearts, who knows? Nobody knows the reason why COVID showed up and COVID did what it did to our world. But I like to and tend to believe the positive in those things. And I think that COVID, despite the devastation, and some of that is near and dear to each and every one of you, it's really close to home for each and every one of you. Despite that, it really has worked to bring all of us together. Even though we're apart, it has worked to bring us together. And I do believe in my heart of hearts that those tears of joy are coming on the heels of the many tears that we are shedding because of COVID. And there will be a lot of healing. There has been a lot of healing. There will be a lot of healing in families and relationships on the heels of the suffering that we are going through together as a nation and frankly as a world. So I'd encourage each and every one of you to take some time and reflect. And despite the adversity that is going on right now, just remember that on the downside of that, on the backside of that, will be tears of joy. We will get back together one day. We will share hugs. We will share handshakes. We will be close again at some point. And I'm looking forward to that, Radco Nation. Take care, and we'll see you next time. I totally wrecked that. You should start over.
I'm like, what are you doing? You're like,
welcome back to the brew. Welcome back to
all I need. Do you have any thoughts, questions, concerns?
If I did, I wouldn't tell you.
Yeah.
We need one of those things.
Yeah, that's right. 1, 2. I'm gonna need a drink after this.